All right, we're here. So welcome back for those of you who joined us earlier. And those who did not, this is the third annual virtual BGD career fair. And I'm excited because we have another awesome company joining us today, one that probably most of you are not familiar with, but you should get to know. And they are the International Association of Golf Administrators. I know it's a long name and you're probably like, what? So I'm glad to bring in our the team from there, as well as members of the association, so you can learn more about who they are and what opportunities there are with that organization. So with that, I'm going to bring in my two guests. First, let me pull in from Instagram, IAGA, Bill Walker, and Hugh. My friend Hugh. All right, I just invited them. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
I am well. I'll send it for you all on my other platform. Everybody here, how are you doing?
Awesome.
Made it. So welcome everybody, and welcome to have everybody learn briefly what your organization is all about. So I'll start with Bill. Just introduce yourself, say who you are with the organization, and then I'll switch it over to Hugh.
It sounds good. Well, first of all, thanks, Jamie, for having me today. The IAGA, we're the International Association of Golf Administrators. We represent roughly 85 golf associations, primarily in North America. We have a lot of state, regional, provincial golf associations that are members of ours, and we're a trade industry group that provides professional best practices, educational opportunities, basically benefits that hopefully push our members forward in their professional careers.
Great. All right, Hugh.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Hugh Smith. I'm the Director of Regional Affairs for Youth on Course. We're a nonprofit organization based in Northern California, and our whole purpose is helping to make the game of golf more affordable and accessible to young people. One of the biggest barriers in the game is the cost to play a round of golf, and through Youth on Course, young people can play a round for $5 or less.
Awesome. Thanks, Hugh. You were in and out a little bit, so I just want to make sure everybody heard. He's representing Youth on Course. They are a program focused on growing the game with youth and providing them affordable opportunities to play golf at golf courses around the country. I firsthand am a benefactor of my junior golf program, and I'm going to have him get more in detail later about it, but they just make it really affordable to play golf for juniors. So I'll just leave that as a brief overview for those who may not have heard him. And we're going to go back to Bill. For those who are just joining, we're with the International Association of Golf Administrators. So I'm going to go back to Bill Walker, the CEO, who's going to talk more about just the membership that they have, what it consists of, how to become a member, so you fully understand what the organization is all about.
Thanks, Jamie. So, like I said, we have member organizations throughout North America. A lot of them are your regional golf associations, state and provincial. So groups like Hughes in California, we have 3 member associations: Youth on Course, Northern California Golf Association, and Southern California Golf Association. I know, Jamie, you're in Florida, so one of our biggest members is the Florida State Golf Association. We have groups like the PGA Tour, LPGA Tour, who are members of our group. The core membership are those state groups that their main functions are not only to promote the game, but to advocate on behalf of the game in their area. So they basically, if you have joined a golf club, most likely you have a handicap index. The groups that I mentioned are the ones that provide that benefit for those clubs and those individual golfers. In addition to that, they administer championships. They're very closely aligned with the United States Golf Association. So if you're qualifying for a championship, they're the ones that are administering those. We have our friends up north in Canada who with Golf Canada and the provincial groups who do the very similar things for running, their championships, administering handicapping. But I say beyond that, those are two of the things we're probably most well known for, but they do a number of great things supporting and promoting the game of golf. Hugh's group is a perfect example. I would say all or a majority of our members support groups like Youth on Course to get more individuals out playing the game, youth playing the game, and making sure that cost is not a barrier. And in addition to that, they promote other opportunities. We have a ton of folks that are in the adaptive golf space that support programs like that, or supporting veterans programs, or women's golf. So they're really, I don't want to say grassroots ambassadors of the game, but that's what they are. And that's a majority of our folks. So I hope I answered your question well there.
You did a great job, Bill. And so you mentioned Canada, and and all the state golf associations are most likely members of the IAGA. But how many countries would you say are members of the IAGA?
You broke it. How many countries?
Yes. How many?
Yeah, so I would say we're primarily a North American based country. So we have Canada, U.S. We've had Mexico in the past and a few others. So we're primarily Canada and U.S. We're hoping to branch out further, but in general terms, we've been around a while. But as far as a staff driven organization, we are fairly young. So I would say, somewhat of a startup in some case when it comes to that.
I apologize if I am choppy, everyone, but hopefully you guys can follow along. If not, this will be recorded, so you can always listen to a recording which may not be as choppy because it's on a different platform. So, Bill, as far as opportunities for state golf associations, can you share with the group that's watching what employment and or internships people could expect to be able to apply for through your members?
Each and every year have a number of opportunities in the intern space, a number of which are there's a great program that the USGA funds each and every year called the PJ Boatwright Internship Program. I was way back in the Stone Ages. I was actually a PJ Boatwright intern, a 1998 graduate. It's a great opportunity to get engaged and involved and support your state golf association. In addition, I know a number of associations do their own internship programs, their own fellowship programs as well. So I guess I would say one thing, especially for folks, there's always a misperception that you have to be this, PGA Tour bound player or LPGA Tour bound player in order to get into the industry. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, that's certainly a benefit, but there are so many opportunities out there. Associations are expanding their reach in marketing and communications, social media skills, membership development. If you're into fundraising or partner development, there's just a ton of opportunities out there. So I guess I would say, yes, we'd love you to be a great golfer, but that is not a requirement. And there's just so many good opportunities out there to get engaged and involved in the game.
So if someone wanted to look for those opportunities, how would they do that through your website?
So we have a job opportunities page. If you go to IAGA.org, so all of our members send their postings to us. And actually, this is a great time because all of our folks are planning for next year and are about to start posting internship opportunities. And they vary in length. Some will have, summer internships. So people that are wanting to do something in between breaks in college, or we have a lot of 6-month to year-long opportunities. And there's a lot of opportunity, to make a great impression. And if you want golf to be your career, I know that worked out for myself and it worked out for Hugh via, I believe, his fellowship with the USGA. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to get engaged and involved in the game via these intern programs.
That was actually a great segue to Hugh. So Hugh, if you could tell everybody who you are, what company you represent, and give us a little bit of your background, as Bill alluded to, that kind of got you to where you are now.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, thank you. Thanks again for allowing us to be on the episode today. I am our regional affairs director, of regional affairs for Youth on Course, and my role is to work with the golf associations that Bill mentioned. So each golf association has a defined region or state that they manage, and they're all about amateur golfers and helping to grow interest and appreciation for the game. One of the biggest barriers for golf is the cost to play around a golf, and that's where Youth on Course comes in. For young people, cost can be a significant issue to be able to afford to play. And through Youth on Course, young people can play a round of golf for $5 or less if they're a member of Youth on Course. And so we've been doing this since late like 2016, and since that time, we've expanded to all states and regions and Canada. And so through Youth on Course, we now have around 140,000 members, almost 2,000 courses where young people can play for $5 or less. And each of our course partners has a defined time when Youth on Course members can come out and play. And we're really all about access. We're just trying to break that barrier of cost down. For me, I've been in golf for over 20 years. Been very fortunate. I grew up in a military household, so my father was in the Army. And the two things that at least he did when he was active duty in his free time was play golf and go bowling. So those were the two things I did a lot of as a kid. And so my interest and exposure to the game started at a really early age. And being a military kid, a lot of bases have a golf course. And if you're a dependent, you can play for almost what a Youth on Course member can play in today's world. And so I was fortunate to have a version of Youth on Course when I was a kid. So it made the game of golf much more accessible to me. But fast forward, my interest and appreciation for the game continued in college, playing for Jackson State University, historically Black college, being the first HBCU to make it, to the NCAAs for golf. And then, as Bill mentioned, working for the USGA right out of college, and then with the Met Golf Association with the first tee, and then now Youth on Course. So I've kind of zigzagged my way around in the golf world, but have loved every bit of it because in each role I've had a chance to give back and support others, getting into the game. So even this is an extension of that, just trying to raise awareness and exposure around getting more people to play the game of golf.
Awesome. And I can say firsthand, as I mentioned earlier, and for those who just joined, by the way, we have the International Association of Golf Administrators on, as well as Youth on Course. I run a nonprofit in Cleveland, Ohio, and we partner with Youth on Course, and all of our members get the Youth on Course benefit as part of their membership with our program so they can continue to practice outside of our weekly sessions. So that's a great way to incorporate Youth on Course into your programs. We did have somebody from the audience that said that they need a Youth on Course in Columbia, South Carolina. So how can they make that happen, Hugh?
Was a little choppy there, Jamie, for me.
It's Columbia, South Carolina, sorry, is where they're looking to get the Youth on Course. They're asking about that.
Yeah, so in the Columbia, South Carolina area, we partner with the Carolinas Golf Association and the South Carolina Golf Association, who's based in Columbia. And together, we're finding courses and young people who want to play the game of golf. I was just out there not too long ago for the African American Golf Expo, which was great, in Charlotte. But I started down in South Carolina, made my way up to Charlotte, and had some really great meetings, and have connected with some of the First Tee folks and other groups out there that are running, youth programming. Any organization that's working with young people, we want to partner with you to get those young people Youth on Course memberships. So you can go on our website or, message me or reach out to me directly, and I can help facilitate that. And the same thing for any golf courses. Really, in my mind, and this may seem a little ambitious, but I feel like any public golf course should have a version of Youth on Course. Whenever the availability is that fits in with that golf course. So that's our big, hairy, audacious goal for Youth on Course, is to get in every public golf course in the country, and try to get every young person with a set of golf clubs, or at least one club in their hand, learning the game.
Thank you. And And so with that, and this may be a question better for Bill. Hopefully you all are understanding me, but if not, please don't hesitate to tell me to repeat. What are some other organizations? I know you mentioned the State Golf Association, similar to Hughes, where people can somehow connect them to their existing leagues and or junior golf programs.
I had a hard time hearing that, Jamie. I apologize. It was a little choppy. Can you try it?
I will read it. I was saying, what are other organizations that you can connect, or people can connect with outside of state golf associations like Hughes to enhance their existing adult or junior program?
Well, I mean, I think the first step, I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be a golf association. I mean, I think what you mentioned, go to your local club, and as far as, see what's going on, your nearest facility, what's going on with the youth programs and things that are offered there. And it doesn't have to be youth. There's a ton of, men's, women's leagues. I think that's the first step, is to go to your local facility, because with the PGA of America runs, at the section level, runs great programming that trickles down to the host club or the host facility. So that would be my first advice. Just go local, go to your closest facility. And it was cutting out a little bit, so I hope I answered the question appropriately there.
Yeah. You did. Good job. I'm going to go back to Hugh on this. I know Youth on Course has an internship program. Can you share about that and how people can apply for those positions?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So in addition to our core, subsidy-based initiative, we do have a couple of additional programs that we manage. So here in Northern California, where I'm based, we have a caddy program that helps employ high school age young people at a number of public and private courses throughout Northern Cal. If anyone on this feed is from Northern Cal, just reach out to us or me, and I can connect you with that process. But we essentially train young people to become caddies, and then we place them at the courses. We use a really interesting app where you can request a caddy, almost like you do an Uber, and you would be matched up with that young person who will show up there and caddy for you, ready to caddy on the first hole. You're paid by the player as well as by us. And if there's any financial need, we put additional dollars aside for college. So we call that kind of caddies to college. So that's our caddy-based initiative. But you're right, we do have an internship as well program that started here in Northern Cal, but we're expanding that across the country. And so similar to our caddy program, any high school age person that wants a job in the game of golf, primarily working at courses, we can help make that connection. It's primarily here in Northern Cal, and we're only in a few states now as we're expanding across the country, but we do want that to grow. When people ask, how do private clubs give back to Youth on Course? Sometimes that's a way that they can do that, is make a position available. And we'll basically be the group that can find those young, Youth on Course members primarily. We can do the vetting and then try to place them at a course where they can learn about, if they're working in the clubhouse, they might, learn some culinary skills or be a host or a hostess. If they're working in the pro shop, they can answer phones, learn about inventory. If they're on the grounds, they can shadow the superintendent staff or do outside service. And Youth on Course will pay that young person's salary. So for the partnering course, it's a win, because we're placing a young person who wants that experience in the game or in the industry. It's a win for that young person because they're getting a job, right? It's during the summer months primarily. And then it's a win for the community because sometimes, courses, struggle with really connecting with the community in which they are located. And sometimes young people and families drive past golf courses and they somehow think, oh, I can't go there. I can't, be a part of that community there. And through, our core Youth on Course programs, our internships, caddy programs, we're trying to make a more inclusive environment. So if anyone's interested in our internships or caddy programs, they can find that information on our website at youthoncourse.org. And one last bit that we're doing that we just announced for this year is our next round of scholarships. So every year we give out around $250,000 in scholarships to high school Youth on Course seniors. So for anyone that's looking for a scholarship, you'd have to be a Youth on Course member. We give out those scholarships every year, and we just started the application process now that will go through the beginning of the year. We try to really round out all the experiences we provide for young people. And so hope there's some folks here listening interested in learning more about those. Just reach out to us.
Awesome. So those are great benefits. And I know that you have a lot of success stories from your program. Bill, can you talk about some of your other member associations? And for those who just tuned in, this is the International Association of Golf Administrators, member groups that offer similar opportunities that was mentioned by Hugh.
Yeah, I think I heard it was kind of choppy for me, but I think similar opportunities to what he was discussing with Youth on Course. Hugh mentioned the caddy program that they have. There's a number of I office at the Golf Association of Philadelphia. They have a great program, the J. Wood Platt, which is caddy opportunities. You have the Evans Scholar Program. You have the We Met Fund in Massachusetts, Evans Scholars throughout the country. So certainly, a great opportunity to, get engaged in the game, but also get engaged probably at some of the best facilities in the country and to see the game at some great championship courses. There's also, a number of different opportunities. A lot of our associations partner with the First Tee and the First Tee chapters in the area. They're always looking for assistance, always looking for help when it comes to that. And a great way to give back is through their First Tee programs.
Thank you for that. Can you I want Hugh, do you have a success story? I'm speaking of someone who currently works for you that you could share with the audience and how your program has benefited them along the way?
Sure. I think I got what you're asking. So we do have a lot of success stories of people that we've hired along the way. Our most probably recent and current one, if you've gone to our Youth on Course handle, is a young man by the name of Elijah Collins. He was a Youth on Course member. He turned professional. Like most professionals out there, the game of golf is hard, especially at the most elite level. And so he's taken a little bit of time off, and we were lucky enough to bring him into our Youth on Course national office family here. He's based up in the Bay Area, but he comes down here to the Monterey area for office work and meetings and whatnot. And he actively is managing our internship caddy program and these special opportunities for young people. And most recently, you may have seen Elijah being promoted for a new opportunity to help young people work on their golf games. So we have this YOC lab that's just been hyped up and promoted. It's going to be on TikTok. So I probably need to download that TikTok app to be more familiar with it. So right now I'm not a TikTok user, but I have a feeling with Elijah being on that platform and promoting YOC, I'll be downloading it here pretty soon. But the whole idea is just really to connect with our Youth on Course members, give them, pointers and help with their own golf game. He is quite the accomplished golfer. And so he'll be, the perfect person to really, talk about the game and things that young people should consider if they want to improve their games. But yeah, Elijah is probably one of our most recent rock star alumni that we've brought in to the fold.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys can hear me, but I wanted to make it clear that these internships oftentimes turn into real job opportunities. And so don't look at it as just a way to get into the golf business for something to do for money, but actually something you can turn into a real career. So I'm going to wrap things up shortly, but I wanted to give both of you an opportunity, and I'll go back to Hugh first. Just give anybody some last minute information that they should know about how to get involved with Youth on Course.
Sure. Thanks, Jamie.
Youth on Course is all about access. We're trying to break down that barrier of cost, which many times prohibits young people from enjoying and playing the game more often. And so through a Youth on Course membership, young people never pay more than $5 for a round of golf. Right now, we've got almost 2,000 courses that are partnering with us around the country, and we're actively growing that number. But at any of those courses, you can show up and play for $5 or less during the defined times when Youth on Course is available. So to find out more about that, please go to our website at youthoncourse.org. You can also check out other opportunities we have available, like I just touched on, like our internship, caddy program, and scholarship programs. And really excited to have this platform to connect with all of you. Through Youth on Course and other allied organizations, we're helping to really make the game of golf more inclusive and more representative of the United States, I feel. And so golf is still perceived as an elitist type of a sport. And through organizations like ours, we're helping to kind of change that and show young people that anyone can go out and play and enjoy the game of golf. So thanks again, Jamie.
Thank you, Hugh. And I want to go back to you, Bill. Again, remind everybody where they can learn more about the members of the IAGA organization and just what they can look for if they're not, if they want to be a member, how they can go about that.
Sure. Thanks again, Jamie, for having us today. But you can go to IAGA.org to check out our website. You can, if you're looking to make golf your career, I think, and I'll use, if you guys both know Dr. Michael Cooper, he uses the term linking agent. I don't know if you've heard him say that a few times, but I think the IAGA can be a linking agent to our other associations. So I would encourage you to check out our website, learn more about the IAGA. And if you have any questions directly for me, just reach out to me directly at my email address, which is bwalker@iaga.org.
Awesome. Thank you both for participating. For those who tuned in late, hopefully you can hear me. I apologize for the bad connection. You can learn more about this and get the full recorded interview on www.blackgolfdirectory.com, as well as reminders for the upcoming interviews. We have 1 week left of interviews with at least 6 more companies in the golf industry. So please don't hesitate to register. And the link is in the bio if you're on Instagram, or you can, again, get it on our Black Golf Directory website. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And thanks, guys, for participating.
Thank you.